Hey everyone, and welcome to the Gym Business Explainer. Whether you're a gym owner, an operator, a manager, a salesperson, or a personal trainer just getting started, you are in exactly the right place.
And just a quick note before we dive in. If you're looking to open a new gym, maybe acquire an existing one, or you just need some working capital, we can help. We've got funding options up to $500K. It's unsecured with no restrictions on how you use it. You can check that out over at fmconsulting.net.
Okay, let's get right into it. This quote right here, it really hits home, doesn't it? Passion alone won't shield you. Because look, passion is what gets you in the door, but it's not what's going to keep the lights on. Left unchecked, these barriers, they can seriously put your entire business at risk.
So today, we're going to be breaking down a fantastic white paper from gym business expert jthomas. And our goal is super simple, to give you insights you can actually use. What I love about this paper is how it flips the script. It says these barriers, they aren't dead ends. Not at all. They're actually signals, kind of like road signs, telling you exactly where you need to build a stronger system.
All right, let's tackle the first big one, moving from isolation to insight. This is all about that feeling of being on an island, like you're making all these huge decisions completely on your own. And that can lead to some seriously costly blind spots.
So on one hand, you've got the barrier, isolation. You're stuck in a silo trying to figure everything out yourself. But on the other hand, we have the system, a curated advisory board. This is the fix. It's about deliberately surrounding yourself with smart people to get the powerful perspective you've been missing.
And look, this isn't just some fluffy, theoretical idea. It's a real, actionable playbook. How do you build your board? You find mentors, you connect with peers, you bring in the pros, your accountant, your marketer. Then you make it official. Schedule quarterly board meetings, join a mastermind group. This is how you systematically trade that loneliness for game-changing insight.
Okay, on to number 2. Ever get to the end of the day and you're just mentally fried? That's what this is about. We're going from fatigue to frameworks. It's about that constant drain from making endless decisions, day in and day out.
Yeah, the barrier is decision fatigue. It's a real thing. It makes you inconsistent, you hesitate, and honestly, it's just plain stressful. The system to beat it? Stop winging it. You need to put repeatable frameworks in place so that doing things the right way becomes the default, not the exception.
And the best part is, you can start fighting this fatigue right now. I'm talking simple, practical steps. Adopt a sales script so your team knows what to say. Create a campaign calendar so you're not always scrambling. Use an onboarding checklist for new members. You're basically automating the small stuff, which frees up your brain power for the big picture decisions that actually move the needle.
All right, number 3. Does this sound familiar? You're the CEO, the head of marketing, the top salesperson, and you're still training clients. You're wearing all the hats. This barrier is about moving from that overload to real expertise. Because trying to do it all, well, it's a recipe for being just okay at a lot of things, instead of great at anything.
Let's be real. You cannot be an expert in everything. It is impossible. That barrier is skill overload. And the answer isn't to just grind harder or work more hours. The system, the smart move, is to use expert playbooks. You borrow the proven strategies from people who have already mastered these areas.
So how do you actually do this? Simple. You stop trying to reinvent the wheel. If you have a specific problem, invest in a specialized consultant. Use templates that are already proven to work for sales and operations. And for the things that you're just not great at, bookkeeping, managing your ads, graphic design, outsource them. Let the experts handle it so you can focus on what you do best.
Barrier number 4, man. This one can be so frustrating. It's when you hit that wall. Growth stalls, the momentum's gone, the stuff that used to work just doesn't anymore. We're talking about how to get out of that rut and go from stagnation back to momentum.
See, when growth just flatlines, that's another one of those signals we talked about. It's a clear sign telling you that your current tactics have hit their expiration date. So the system is all about strategically injecting some fresh, high-leverage tactics to get that fire going again.
And here's the really cool part. This doesn't mean you have to tear everything down and start over. Not at all. We're talking about small moves that create a big impact. Things like a fun referral contest, setting up a couple of corporate wellness partnerships, or maybe a campaign to bring back old members. These are focused, strategic moves that can really get the ball rolling again.
And that brings us to our 5th and final barrier. This is a big one, folks. This is what separates the wishful thinkers from the real winners. It's all about closing that gap between having goals and actually hitting them, going from wishes to wins.
The barrier here is what we call accountability gaps. Because let's face it, a goal without accountability is just a dream. It's a wish list. So the system? You build a structure for success. You put up a scoreboard so everyone knows the score. And you have regular check-ins to keep everyone focused and on track. That's how wishes become reality.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. These aren't just 5 random tips. This is your complete solution map. It's a unified framework for running your gym, not letting it run you.
And this chart, this lays it out perfectly. It's the anti-barriers framework. Look at how this works. You implement a system, and it leads directly to an outcome. An advisory board? That gives you insight. Repeatable frameworks? That creates consistency. Expert playbooks bring expertise. High-leverage tactics create momentum. And accountability, well, that drives results. It's a complete cause and effect roadmap for success.
So, if you take one thing away from our time together today, let it be this. The biggest barriers you're facing, they aren't external. It's not the gym down the street, it's not the economy. They are internal systems problems. And you know what the beautiful thing about that is? It means the solution is 100% within your control.
And that leaves us with one final question for you to think about, a really provocative one. Are the barriers you're dealing with right now, are they just problems? Or are they actually signals? Are they signposts showing you exactly where you need to focus and build your next great system?
Now, if you're thinking, okay, I get it, but I need some help putting these systems in place, then you should absolutely reach out to the author of this white paper himself, Jim Thomas. You can call him at 214-629-7223 or shoot him an email at jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
And finally, a huge thank you to our sponsor, Gym Business Manager. If you're looking for the best software to run your gym, you've got to check them out. You can find them over at gymbusinessmanager.com. Thanks so much for tuning in.